In computing, on the X Windows system, X11 color names are represented in a simple text file, which maps certain strings to RGB color values. It is shipped with every X11 installation, hence the name, and is usually located in an LT, X11 root and GT, lib, X11, RGB, text. The web colors list is descended from it but differs for certain color names. Color names are not standardized by Xlib of the X11 protocol. The list does not show continuity either in selected color values or in color names, and some color triplets have multiple names. Despite this, graphic designers and others got used to them, making it practically impossible to introduce a different list. In earlier releases of X11, server implementers were encouraged to modify the RGB values in the reference color database to account for gamma correction. The list first shipped with X10 Release 3 on the 7th of June 1986, having been checked into RCS by Jim Geddes in 1985. The same list was in X11R1 on the 18th of September 1987. Approximately the full list is available today, shipped with X11R4 on the 29th of January 1989, with substantial additions by Paul Raveling, John C. Thomas and Jim Fulton. The project was running DEC VT240 terminals at the time, so would have worked to that device. As of X.org Release 7.4, RGB text is no longer included in the roll-up release, and the list is built directly into the server. The optional module Zerg app RGB contains the standalone RGB text file. In some applications, multi-part names are written with spaces, in others joined together are often in camel case. They are usually matched insensitive of case, and the X server source code contains spaced aliases for most entries. This article uses spaces and uppercase initials except where variants with spaces are not specified in the actual code. Clashes between Web and X11 colors. The first versions of Mosaic and Netscape Navigator used the X11 colors as the basis for the web colors list, as both were originally X applications. The W3C specifications SVG and CSS Level 3 module color eventually adopted the X11 list with some changes. It is a superset of the 16 VGA colors defined in HTML 3.2 and CSS Level 1. Perhaps most unusual of the color clashes between X11 and W3C is the case of gray. In HTML, gray is specifically reserved for the 128 triplet. However, in X11, gray was assigned to the 190 triplet, which is close to W3C. Silver at 192, and had light gray at 211 and dark gray at 169 counterparts. This resulted in W3C's gray at 50%. Actually being significantly darker than dark gray at 66%. Some browsers like Netscape Navigator insisted on an A in any gray except for light gray. The W3C also defined a color that is equal to X11's green, but called it lime. Recent X releases also support the W3C definitions. Conflicting names have a web prefix, and there are also aliases with an X11 prefix for disambiguation, i.e., X11 green equals green does not equal web green equals lime. Color name chart. The following chart presents the standardized X11 color names from the X.org source code. The list of names accepted by browsers following W3C standards slightly differs as explained above. The table does not show numbered gray and brightness variants as described below. Actual RGB text files and other color databases or palettes may differ since they are freely editable by vendors and users. The table shows component values in several notations of the RGB color space, i.e., RGB, HSL and HSV. Conversions are done assuming sRGB color space. Color variations. Shades of gray. The complete RGB text defines 101 shades from gray 0 up to gray 100 in addition to gray and its variants listed above. The shades are apparently defined by the formula grain equals round, resulting in e.g. gray 96, which happens to be the same as white smoke. Similarly, dim gray is the same as gray 41. On the other hand, gray lies between gray 74 and gray 75. Dark gray is not the same as gray 66, and light gray is not the same as gray 83. These shades are not included in W3C specifications, although drafts for Level 4 of the CSS Color module include a similar function gray. They are still coded without gray alternatives, but with no space before the digit. Numbered variants for 78 colors. RGB text offers 4 variants: color 1, color 2, color 3, and color 4, with color 1 sometimes corresponding to color. So e.g., snow 1 is the same as snow. Unlike base colors, e.g., cadet blue and cadet blues, these are only coded without spaces, e.g., cadet blue 3. These variations are neither supported by popular browsers nor adopted by W3C standards. Whether or not a certain color has such variants seems random. If color 1 is not the same as color, the base color is usually darker. That means its brightness in HSB color notation is less than 100%. About 30 of the base colors are fully bright. The 4 variants have rounded brightness values of 100%, 93%, 80%, and 55%, respectively. The hue and saturation are usually the same except for rounding. In some cases they differ from the base color, though, which may indicate that these variants were specified with alternate definitions of the bases in mind, i.e., their values were adapted to a certain monitor, which was commonly done by vendors until the 1990s. The fixed brightness settings correspond closely to these formulae to determine the RGB values. Color 1 equals color times 100%, color 2 equals color 1 times 93.2%, color 3 equals color 1 times 80.4%, color 4 equals color 1 times 54.8%. Examples: yellow 2 is based on yellow with 255 times 0.932 equals 237.66. Ivory 3 is explained by ivory, where 255 times 0.804 equals 205.02 and 240 times 0.804 equals 192.96. Azure 4 is close to Azure. Values transformed as 255 times 0.548 equals 139.74 and 240 times 0.548 equals 131.52. Prefixed variants. Some color names appear to be brightness or saturation modifications of others because they bear prefixes such as dark, light, medium, pale or deep. but there is no systematic variation apparent. Several sets, however, feature a dark variant with 55% brightness and some have the medium at about 80%. Light goldenrod yellow and dark olive green are special, because there are no corresponding color entries without dark and light prefixes. Nuances with different hue. Several groups of colors share the same lightness of brightness and saturation. These nuances differ only by hue: 100%, 25%, 0 degrees maroon, 60 degrees olive, 120 degrees green, 180 degrees teal, 240 degrees navy, 300 degrees purple, 100%, 27%, 0 degrees dark red, 180 degrees dark cyan, 240 degrees dark blue, 300 degrees dark magenta, 100%, 41%, 181 degrees dark turquoise, 282 degrees dark violet, 100%, 49%, 90 degrees lawn green, 157 degrees medium spring green, 61%, 50%, 80 degrees dark orchid, 120 degrees lime green, 80 degrees yellow green, 100%, 50%, 0 degrees red, 16 degrees orange red, 33 degrees dark orange, 39 degrees orange, 51 degrees gold, 60 degrees yellow, 90 degrees chartreuse, 120 degrees green, 150 degrees spring green, 180 degrees aqua cyan, 195 degrees deep sky blue, 240 degrees blue, 300 degrees fuchsia magenta, 25%, 65%, 0 degrees rosy brown, 120 degrees dark sea green, 59 to 60%, 65%, 260 degrees medium purple, 302 degrees orchid, 340 degrees pale violet red, 100%, 86%, 38 degrees moccasin, 351 degrees light pink, 100%, 90%, 36 degrees blanched almond, 54 degrees lemon chiffon, 67%, 94%, 30 degrees linen, 240 degrees lavender, 100%, 94%, 6 degrees misty rose, 60 degrees light yellow, 180 degrees light cyan, 100%, 97%, 25 degrees seashell, 40 degrees floral white, 60 degrees ivory, 120 degrees honeydew, 180 degrees azure, 208 degrees Alice blue, 340 degrees lavender blush, 100%, 99%, 0 degrees snow, 240 degrees ghost white. Tints and shades with different lightness. Several groups of colors share the same hue and HSL saturation. Tints are lighter than a base color. Shades are darker. 0 degrees, 0%, 0% black, 41% dim gray, 50% gray, 66% dark gray, 75% gray, 75% silver, 83% light gray, 86% Gainsborough, 96% white smoke, 100% white, 0 degrees, 100%, 25% maroon, 27% dark red, 50% red, 99% snow, 16 degrees, 100%, 50% orange red, 66% coral, 33 degrees, 100%, 50% dark orange, 88% bisque, 36 degrees, 100%, 84% Navajo white, 90% blanched almond, 60 degrees, 100%, 25% olive, 50% yellow, 94% light yellow, 97% ivory. 80 degrees 61%, 35% olive drab, 50% yellow-green, 90 degrees 100%, 49% lawn green, 50% chartreuse, 120 degrees 61%, 34% forest green, 50% lime green, 120 degrees 100%, 20% dark green, 25% green, 50% green, lime, 97% honeydew, 146 to 147 degrees, 50% 36% sea green, 47% medium sea green, 150 degrees 100%, 50% spring green, 98% mint cream, 180 to 181 degrees, 100% 25% teal, 27% dark cyan, 41% dark turquoise, 50% aqua cyan, 94% light cyan, 97% azure, 240 degrees 100%, 25% navy blue, 27% dark blue, 40% medium blue, 50% blue, 99% ghost white, 300 degrees 100%, 25% purple, 27% dark magenta, 50% fuchsia magenta, 328 to 330 degrees 100%, 54% deep pink, 71% hot pink, 350 to 351 degrees 100%, 88% pink, 86% light pink. Tones with different saturation. Some pairs of colors share the same lightness and hue. These tones differ only by saturation. Tones are far less common in the X11 set than nuances, tints and shades. 0 degrees 41%, 0% dim gray, 59% brown, 0 degrees 75%, 0% gray, 0% silver, 120 degrees 50%, 61% lime green, 100% green, lime, 180 degrees 25%, 25% dark slate gray, 100% teal, 240 degrees 27%,